Hey everybody, it's Cam K. This episode is presented in partnership with our friends at Sauble Speedway, located in Hepworth, Ontario, right by the beach. Now, Sauble Speedway offers so much great short track action, including the Russell Fencing and Deck Junior Late models, the Roots Gaspar United 8s, the Pro Late models, the Imagewraps.ca Legend cars, and yes, the epic racewear bone stock division. Head to the beach this summer to see some amazing short track action. Just go check out their website first, www.saublespeedway.ca. You get all your information there. You get your ticket information, answer some questions. They got Q&A section on there. Maybe take a look at the point standings from last year. Get yourself your directions and head to the beach for some amazing short track action. You won't regret it. They are presenting this episode of the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. Looking to level up your race cars look in 2025? Well, look no further than Imagewraps.ca. The team of Craig and Doug Hamrath specializes in creating amazing, detailed, and creative graphic designs and wraps that are sure to turn heads at the racetrack. As huge supporters of motorsports, Imagewraps.ca understands the importance of having eye-catching and unique designs to stand out from the competition while showcasing your amazing partners. Trust us for the best deals and quality in the business to give your ride that winning edge. You have to visit Imagewraps.ca today and let them take your racing experience to the next level.
Stickers and scuffs, we ride, interviewing drivers side by side, from the pits to winning strides. Stickers and scuffs, our racing guide. Hear the roar and feel the speed. Every driver chasing dreams, from the green flag to the win. Cam and Cradle, let's begin. Stickers and scuffs, we ride, interviewing drivers side by side, from the pits to winning strides. Stickers and scuffs, our racing guide. Engines roaring, crowds alive, Ontario pride by the mile. Lap by lap on the move, catch the thrill in every groove. Stickers and scuffs, we ride, interviewing.
What's going on, everybody? This is episode 197. We're on the countdown to 200, and it's presented by our friends at Sauble Speedway and Imagewraps.ca. Because we are going to the beach, even though it is buried in snow, we're going to think warm thoughts here, and we got the father-son duo of Tom and Thomas Gibbons. Welcome in, boys. How you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having us.
Oh man, we're glad to have you here. If you to get started, tell us about your 2024 seasons. Thomas, you're finished on the podium in the season-ending points to a couple of really elite drivers in terms of Josh and Cole. So talk about your 2024, bud.
Yeah, the start was really slow, like a little slow, but after the midpoint in the season, I really started getting good, and then at the end of the season, I really picked up and got up there.
Nice. What'd you find? What it just more laps, just got more comfortable?
More confidence and got more comfortable in the car, yeah.
Nice. Tom, how about you?
We
You did
had a-
all right, eh?
Yeah, I think we did okay for a season.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to get a few more cars out at Sauble, though, in the Pro Late Model division. It's a fun track, racy track.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we come out of the box strong and finish strong.
Yeah, 2023 and 2024 champion.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, came together
Taking a
well.
little bit of a difference from running from APC and doing kind of more of the home track stuff. What do you want to say about Sauble Speedway first? Because we can see by the decorations behind you that you kind of have made home there and done quite well for yourself. You said it's a great track. What is it about the track itself? Because I'll tell you, my co-host has driven on a couple different tracks. and he won't shut up about this one. He loves this track. So what is it that's so good about Sauble? Actually, we'll ask both of you guys because you both race there.
So Sauble, what I find is there's two full racing grooves. You can race side by side, lap after lap, without worrying about making contact. There's all kinds of room. You do have to respect your fellow racer, though. But it's a racy track. It's probably the shortest track that APC would even go to on the circuit, but it's, in my opinion, one of the raciest tracks.
And what about Thomas Jr., I guess we'll say?
What I find about it is it's really fun running side by side with somebody. And the competition there is really fun. I like the drivers there. They're really nice and fun, and the track's really awesome.
Yeah, you touched on that right there. So let's talk about that. That's something that I found kind of in my little core bone stock group is just and it's not just limited to that, but Sauble has a very family oriented, and that every track will say that, but I mean that it hits different at Sauble. It is a very tight knit atmosphere, and like a family, everybody will have their squabbles or whatever, or what have you. But I mean, at the same time, everybody bands together to help one another when the case may be, right?
Oh, for sure. Sauble, there's a lot of generational racing at Sauble. When you look back at, like, with even the junior lates, you got Cole, his dad knuckle race there. Josh, his dad raced there. Thomas, I raced there. It's even young Oliver, Thomas's cousin, his dad raced there, and that's great to see the generational racing. But it is, if someone has a problem at Sauble, everybody's there to help in.
We hear that, and we got to hear that actually. Graydon talked about that last year because they had some some races that didn't go the way they would have liked, and I was actually I did actually have a young racer that messaged me and told me to ask Thomas about his iRacing experiences. And that driver, I won't name his name, but it rhymes with Molly. Molly Ferguson decided to be a stinker and tell me to ask you about your iRacing. I'm not gonna ask you here on the podcast what he said I should ask you, but what are your experiences like on iRacing? Because everybody has a different experience, so maybe yours is a little bit different.
With iRacing, it's like I usually just race against the friends I race at Sauble and Ollie I race against, and some other people that I know that race around here, and it's really fun with them.
Yeah, he tend to say that maybe you're not as higher up as he is. But first off, do you actually find? I know you go and race for fun, but do you find that it helps at all?
I find it helps with like reaction time and stuff. That's the thing I really help with.
I mean, definitely think that we need to try and get Graydon set up with iRacing at some point. No, he said he's not a a video or a gaming or a simulation guy, but
what about you, Tom? You do iRacing at all?
I do a bit of it. It's different. There's no feel.
Okay.
Like everything's in your hands with iRacing. You don't feel it in the seat of your pants like you do in a car. So my reaction time's not as good as the young kids. I'll give them that. And I'm not as aggressive on iRacing as some people would be. Like I'm more 10 if I'll back out just as I would racing Saturday night because, I got to fix that stuff. And yeah, iRacing, I find there's a lot of aggression on iRacing.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the mechanics of it, like driving the car is the same and everything. The physics aren't there, and as you say, there's kind of the mentality isn't always the same as like I've tried sim rigs, a couple of different things, and I plain suck at it. I'm no good at it at all.
I'm the same.
Yeah, put me in a real car and let me try and figure it out. I don't know what it is. If it, like you say, it's just like the age group that we're a part of. Maybe it's like we learned it the old school way, but like my kids are the walking talking example of they learned to drive via sim rig first before they got their butts in a real car to let a real clutch out and that kind
Yeah.
of thing. And it's cool that it kind of let them hit the ground running, and it maybe teaches us old fellas that this is the new way. It's not the way we learn, but it's not the wrong way either, right?
No, exactly. And honestly, it does well for the young kids. Like Thomas said, it teaches them reaction time. It does teach them how to hold a line.
Yeah.
Try different things on iRacing. Like he's come down and said, Dad, what if I try this? I'm like, yeah, try it and see if it will relate to your junior late, because I can't tell him how to drive a junior late. I've never drove one.
Yeah.
So he's got to figure that out all on his own.
Yeah, that's kind of neat too, where
Yeah.
you have the family genetics to rely on, but you're your own man when it comes to your junior late, right, Thomas? You're figuring your own way in that seat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Well, I'm just saying that if they could find a way to get your dad, and I say Graydon as well, I think we've got to try and get them into junior lates and see what we could do, man. That would be
That's going to
fun.
be a full car.
Well, we can guarantee it's not going to go flipping at Sauble. We've seen that happen a couple of times, and I got to ask Thomas, you get to race with a lot of really great racers and fellow SNS racers, because we've added you guys both, and we're excited for that, to have more Sauble racers. But racing with Cole and Josh on the track, those two have kind of had a really great couple of seasons. So when you came down, you raced at Sunset, I believe. You were there for maybe one or maybe a couple races, or was it one?
2 races.
2 races. How do you find coming to a track that you don't run very often? How different is it?
Sunset, when I first went out, it was very different because like there's more banking, and to me it kind of feels like a smaller track. I might be wrong with that, but I picked it up after a couple laps in practice. It was really fun.
Yeah, you didn't seem to suck at it.
No, I was going to say, you look pretty good.
There, did you not?
Yeah, one of the things I can say is that Thomas's junior late is probably one of my favorites, based off of the color is amazing. I love that blue that you guys run, and it's nice.
Flip flop that before.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah,
very
we kind of
cool.
go back and forth with who gets what paint scheme. Craig does an awesome job. He knocks them out of the park every year. Thomas already has his scheme picked out this year. I want it, and Thomas like, I got dibs. So Craig's coming up with something else for me now.
Okay. Nice. I got to tease Craig and see what I can get out of him, because
you got a pretty sweet helmet wrap, though. Tom?
Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
So now you can at least brag over the other two about that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting, because you're not just racing like a fellow competitor, but you're racing your friends, right? So
yeah,
I wonder, does it ever get to a point where you guys have to be a little more aggressive with each other actually on the track and not in iRacing?
I haven't really found that. The only time I really found that getting aggressive is when I was running side by side with Cole that one time. We were side by side for 15 laps. I was starting to get a little aggressive, trying to get past him, but
it's easy to get upset, I would imagine, right? Or are you able to stay calm?
I usually stay calm, but sometimes I get a little hot.
And then I guess as you see in that, Tom, what is it that you want to see your son do at the end of the day after a hard fought battle like that? Is it, what is it? What does he need? Does he need a pat on the back? Does he need a talking to, or is it just let him go chill, or?
If he's upset, we'll have a conversation, see what he's upset about. And I can say very few times he's ever been upset coming off the track. He's usually pretty calm. But I give him a lot of credit. Like this year when he was running side by side with Cole, he'd run the outside, they'd swap back and forth. And with running against Cole and Josh, it just makes him strive to be so much better. And that's great. And that's why we love the competition there. It makes better racers all around.
Yeah. I feel like it's learned, and that's the thing that maybe we don't see in other divisions, is that these kids, they're learning to do it the right way. They're not spitting people out to win races. I saw Cole, Josh, and I want to say it was Caleb, I think, that did a 3 wide at Sunset, and held it for, I think they held it the entire 3 and 4. And it was just like the crowd was starting to freak out because they're just waiting for something bad to happen and nothing did. It's amazing that you guys go when you do these, how old are you, Thomas?
13.
13 years old, and you're kind of all to, all out flying around these racetracks and not wrecking. I mean, it's kind of like the weird thing you're expecting, kind of that it would be all over the place, but the junior late program has really taken off, and there's been great representation everywhere. Is there a track you haven't gone to yet that you want to try?
Probably Peterborough would be the one I want to try. I want to do Autumn Colors. That track, this looks really fun and really fast.
I think great, and we got to get you in race against Thomas. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Right? Because he wants to do Autumn Colors as well, right? So, I mean,
Peterborough is an amazing track.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, every time it's fast, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, the hot ticket for us is Autumn Colors. I mean, we love that show, and obviously, Tom, you drove around Ontario in the APC tour, so you kind of been to all these tracks.
Yeah.
In your experience, though, what, or not even an experience, but what was kind of behind the decision to kind of move away from APC for a couple of years and head back home? Was it to support Sauble?
Yeah, support Sauble. Work as much as I can because I'm seasonal. So with APC, I love the series. It's an amazing series. It's time consuming.
Yeah.
We do everything as a family here. Like cars built at McCall's, but we maintain it here. McCall's will help us with setup and stuff, but we do most of that stuff ourselves. So if I don't have the time to spend 3-4 nights in the shop a week to work on the car, you're not where you need to be when you go to these APC shows. Mm-hmm. There is stiff competition out there, and APC, it's a great group of people to race against. Like honestly, last year I missed the weekends with all of them because it's like a big family as well.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun when they come to Sauble and I was there. Like I was hoping to hit a few more races last year. And this year I think we'll do more than just Sauble with the APC. Won't be the full season though. It will. I'd like to hit Sunset at least once and Flamborough. Like I'm first one to tell you I'm not good at Delaware, so there's no sense even going down there. But I love Sunset, Flamborough. There's just racy tracks, and if Peterborough was closer, it's a 4.5 hour drive for us.
Yeah, that's a tough haul. The one of the things that I was really glad, and why I've been really hoping and wanting to get you guys and you on the show, Tom, is what you guys did for Joe Lawrence. And it was by far one of the best stories that. Man, so for those that aren't familiar, kind of let's just shed a light on it, is that they lost a motor, and Joe was battling for the championship in APC.
Yeah,
Mom's motor.
Yeah.
And from there, kind of, you tell us your side as to what happens after that.
So it was actually a Sauble race, and Joe was running, and it come apart. And I went to Joe after the race and I said, do you have a motor? And he's like, no, I don't. I'm like, well, if you need one, just stop by the shop on the way home. You know where it is. It's 25 minutes from here. And he looked at me like, I don't know if he thought I was serious or not. But then the next morning he called. He's like, you serious? I'm like, yeah, man. I said, I got a motor on the shelf here. Stop, grab it, put it in. And he was all worried, but well, what happens? I'm like, Joe, just run the motor. Like it's one I've ran before. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen. I just didn't want to see them struggle. And Joe and Chris they're great guys. And they're the first ones to help anybody else out as well. So I was my opportunity to help them. And I don't regret it at all.
One of the best things about us doing SNS and is getting to be able to meet the people that we saw these amazing stories from. We've seen it with Steve McCaw. Obviously, we saw it with the Lawrence brothers. We see it now with yourself. And I've got to ask, since we know that the BT Racing crew is the logical next step, I guess, for racing after going into bone stocks. Are we going to see potentially a 10G heading to a bone stock anytime soon, or maybe going to a Bandoleros, or how many more years are we thinking for junior lates, or are you just going to kick out of the pro late and just take that over?
Well, we're not 100% sure where we're going yet.
Okay.
Thomas, I measured him this morning. The kid's like 5'8" tall now, so he's he's getting pretty tall for the juniors. So we're actually in the middle of building a new junior for this year. So we want to see him do at least another year or two. Mm-hmm. But I do have another pro late here that I'm going to put a seat in and get him testing, not racing against anybody this year. Testing.
Look on his face.
There we go.
Throttle control, braking, because you're not learning that with the junior late. I would love to put him into a super stock or something, but I don't have one of those here. So we're going to go with something we do have. And like I said, it's not for him to race, just for him to learn.
Yep.
I guess he's got that on Ollie now. There you go.
That just kind of came full circle.
It did, didn't it? It's. I mean, that's awesome to hear. Honestly, it's getting to see these young racers kind of move up the ranks and get their experience and but Thomas, what do you want to do this year? I mean, you're going to be racing, so what's the goal that you have out there? I mean, I would imagine it's to kick the pants off of whoever else is in the division. I don't know if Josh is going to run Sauble again, or if he's going to do both, or what. So is it win the championship, win every race, set a faster lap time than your dad? I mean, what is it?
My ultimate goal is to probably win the championship this year, but I also want to win a couple of races. Hopefully I win a couple of races, and I want to travel around and go to some new tracks.
Yeah, I mean, those are pretty good goals. I mean, I kind of want to see Thomas a little bit more. I don't get up to Sauble very often, maybe ever. But I definitely want to see, what the field's got, because I think the junior late field is stacked once again, and it'd be really cool to see what you guys can do again. And like I said, Josh is a great racer too, and I really want to see you two go like heads up, like you versus Josh outside of Sauble. Like, I want to see that up close. It'd be really cool. But for yourself,
McConnell's fast too.
Who is it?
The McConnell kid, Caden McConnell.
Yes.
He's fast. That's like Sauble has a good and Carter Camrat's coming back this year too. And it's going to be some good racing up there.
And funny, I guess we might as well just break the news here that Caleb McConnell has now joined SNS roster as well. I got a message from his dad this afternoon.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
So there we go. Now we've got a little mini championship between the SNS racers, because Carter's already part of it, and Thomas has now joined it, and now Caleb's joining it. So it's awesome to see that you guys are gonna be doing that. But Thomas, where's your kind of racing love? Where does it go? Are you a NASCAR guy? Are you, and if you are a NASCAR guy, who is your driver that you're cheering for? And it's not Chase Elliott, right?
No. My favorite NASCAR driver would have to be Noah Gragson.
Ooh, that's a tough one for me. That's a tough one for me. No, honestly, it a great race. Great race at Coda. That's great. What about Tom? What about you? How'd you get your love of racing?
Oh, I grew up just watching it and going to Sauble when I was little. Loved old NASCAR Cup racing. More not a huge fan of this next gen car of NASCAR. I'm not gonna lie. Would rather
don't worry, we
watch
totally
Xfinity
agree on that one.
ARCA racing. Then I enjoy the Cup Series, but it's totally different than what we grew up watching for Cup, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion.
It's definitely true.
So that's why I like watching the Xfinity, the ARCA, and
yeah, I'm definitely on board with that. Where'd number 10 come from?
Yeah,
honestly,
this should be good.
Actually, it's not that. I bought a car. My dad bought a car for me back in '96 from Dean Russell.
I'm gonna go get the picture.
Yeah, look at the picture. And it was an old an old enduro car he was building. and it actually was painted up like the Tide Ride and had number 10 on it.
Nice.
And we painted the car white and went racing in the end of that year, and I just kept the number.
Really?
Yeah, that's honestly, there's no story behind it. That's how I got the number. It was on it, painted around it, kept the number.
Ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right. Yeah, no,
I love that.
Yeah, there's no big story behind it. Like a lot of people, like, oh, it's got to be your favorite number from years. I'm like, no, it's not at all.
I think we've heard so many different stories, Graydon, like from like people that are like, oh, it was my grandfather's, my granddad, grandma, and it was this one's a completely different story, and I love that.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. Oh, Thomas, there's, you might be able to see it there. That's the picture of the car.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, it had Russell fencing on the hood. It was an old enduro car Dean was building back in 95, 96. And yeah, that was, we painted it white, race at the end of 96 for a few races. And then raced that same car all of 97. Then we built our first new car ourselves for 98, 99 at Sauble.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're bringing this around then. Since Russell Fencing is on the car from way back, they've had a real influence and a real passion for Sauble Speedway, and both of you guys know that with them being the title sponsor of the junior late division too. So Tom, like, speaking to that, like, the Russells have been a big part of the culture there, right?
Oh, for sure. Like, before I even got into racing, I knew who Dean was through my brother-in-law, Mike Hastings. We'd go up to Dean's, look at his, I think it was his Challenger at the time. Yeah. Then he went to late model and whatnot. But yeah, like, Dean's been around Sauble as long as I've been going up there. And Derek, like, we found some old newspaper clippings from my mom had kept from years ago when I was winning races that had Derek and Dean's names in them and stuff. And it's just awesome to see Derek back at the track with his kids now. It's yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Like I said, generational racing.
Yep. And Thomas, that's got to be pretty cool for you to be racing in the division with that name on it too, eh? Yeah. Hearing all that, what they mean to the area.
Yeah, very cool.
I think one of the things that is really awesome about the program that they have up there is it is its own little thing. And our good buddy Brad Holmes took over as GM there. Now, I want you to be as critical of him as possible here on this show, because we know that he'll listen to it and he'll take everything that you say to heart, especially what we tell him all the time about how we feel about things. No, in all honesty, how did things go last year for his first season? It's somebody new coming in, and I mean, it ended unfortunate with Jeff, and we're really sorry with that, and sorry that happened. But how do you feel that last year went for the track, and how the future looks?
Last year, it was great, actually. Like, you would never have known it was Brad's first kick at the can, so to say.
Oh wow, good.
Like, he handled things very well. There was a few issues come up, and he was very good. If he said he was going to get back to you, he got back to you. No, Brad, he's done a great job, and look forward to working with him this year.
Awesome. Sorry, Brad, that's as mean as it's going to get for you.
Oh, Brad knows if I have an issue, I'll call him.
All
right, Graydon. I think you've got the last little bit here.
Yeah, just we're back around here, and I know you guys, as you said kind of earlier, you represent, you're your own boss, and working is second nature. You get up and do it every day, and that translates into the race team. So having good people around you is very, very important. So Tom, who helps you keep this program on track?
I got to thank my sponsors. I have Graham Family Car Quest out of Port Elgin, Ganger Service Center, Foss Construction, Lighthouse Restaurant, Sauging Shores Transmission, Graham Driving Service, myself, of course. But I couldn't do it without my family, like my wife, my daughter, my son, my dad. We work on this stuff together. Like, setup days, my wife, she'll be in the shop with us working on stuff. If there's a wreck or anything needs fixed, Dad, he's over here, we're at his shop working on it. It's just a family deal, and I just love it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should have made Thomas name off all the partners.
Yeah.
He's got to get that practice, right? One thing that we're really excited about, Thomas is going to be joining us at the Stickers and Scuffs booth this Saturday at Motorama. He's going to be signing some autographs with his good friends. There was a massive amount of them. Carter, Cole, Josh, they're all going to be there. I don't know if that's going to go well or we're going to have chaos taking over the booth, but we're
Trash talk.
Yeah, probably.
It's fun when you get those boys together.
I was going to say we're going to have a pro wrestling event going on out there, but Craig has pre-warned me about Cole and Josh together. And now we're adding 2 more on top of that with Carter and Thomas. So, and then I don't know if Ollie's going to be hanging around, but I know he's going to be there at some point. So things are getting
Thomas,
very
do you
interesting.
have anything to add to wrap up, bud?
Not really, no.
Well, all I can say is we said off camera, I'm pretty jealous of that awesome trophy collection and all the setup behind you guys. So can't wait to come and hang out and go racing around you guys this year, and we'll stick a microphone in your face when we get a chance here and there.
For sure. We appreciate you having us on tonight.
Oh, we're going to probably have to have it happen again. We'll probably stick a microphone in your face at Motorama too, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Watch them just not show up now.
We're going for the Night of Champions.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Night of Champions. You can also check along and see our good buddies at Gibbons Motorsports all season long, representing Stickers and Scuffs podcast. We can't wait to see you guys on track at Sauble Speedway, repping us. Yes, it is an honor, and we definitely want to make sure that people can follow along with you guys on their socials. So let's hear it. What social media do you guys have?
We just have our Facebook page, Gibbons Motorsports. Mm-hmm. And then just my own personal Instagram and Thomas's, but the Facebook page is the best one to follow.
Excellent. It's time to see how Gibbons Motorsports does in 2025. Thomas and Tom Gibbons, we will see you guys on the track and probably in Victory Lane at some point. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. Subscribe, share, and like for more Ontario motorsports content.